The last thing that you want to do is go outside in the freezing cold to your car just to find out that it won't start. Well, mechanics say the problem may lie with what's under the hood. They have been working to try to contain this fire that completely destroyed the entire building. There are several fire crews on scene. According to the Jones County Fire Council, they got the call in around 4 this morning that a 2-story brick home had caught fire. The victim was treated and released from the hospital yesterday, but there's still a few parties involved that are on the loose that are wanted. We were inside of the food court inside Turtle Creek Mall on April 10th. That's on a Wednesday between the hours of 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. Or anyone else you know, there's a strong possibility they may have been exposed. The Leaf River, you can just see how far it's risen up and how fast it's moving in the background. He says with a building like this, you have this tin building. Basically, it's almost like an oven. It's very easy to catch fire. For those of you who might not know, this building, they sold a lot of clothing, a lot of furniture, a lot of items that could have been very, very flammable. AAA says Mississippi ranks in the top 10 for least expensive gas, with average prices around the state ranging around $2.35. If you're driving in this direction about 5 miles out, you will see very large signs letting people know that the bridge and the road are closed. Good evening, I'm Quametra Wilborn. The flooding continues to spread across our area. A Southern Miss grad student in polymer science is working with NASA to save the agency a lot of money. Exactly 20 years ago today, 2 students shot and killed 13 people at Columbine High School. It was the first mass shooting at a school for the millennial generation. We're still awaiting to hear word from administrators to see if 3 East Jasper schools will open when the bell sounds in the morning. And it was a beautiful day out today. Our First Alert weather team is live in the Weather Center. Rex, how long will we have this beautiful weather? We definitely hope that's not the case.
I don't think it's going to be the case.
Okay, that's good. So it might not be the case, but I do want to say I love to see that 0%
too.
rain chance 4
that.
days in a row. That was beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Old photos and an empty car seat are all of what's left of the home on North 1st Avenue after Thursday night's deadly fire.
I happened to look out the door when I was calling 911 and realized the house was on fire. And I said, y'all need to help me get here because the house is on fire. I kept telling them, they kept asking me how old the baby was. I said, no matter how old the baby is. And I gave you the address. What you need to do is get on over here.
Bobby Heidelberg says he knew 27-year-old Isaiah Pierce as his neighbor for years and was shocked to hear the cries of Pierce's girlfriend banging on his door, pleading for help.
I went to the door to see who it is. And when I got to the door, she kept hollering, my baby gone, my baby gone.
1-year-old Mahogany Brownlow was trapped inside. Firefighters with the Laurel Fire Department say Pierce ran inside, but never made it back out. Family members say Pierce was a good man, working to get back on his feet after a rough patch in his life.
He did 2 good things. He got back on his feet and he went in there to be a hero. But you know, one thing about a hero carries consequences.
Family members of the small infant who did not wish to speak on camera say Mahogany will be missed and her life was taken before she even had the chance to start.
I send my regard to the family, his family, and the other family. I keep them in my prayer.
Mahogany leaves behind 3 older siblings who were also home at the time of the fire but escaped. Quametra Wilborn, WDAM on your side. Well, if you witness a drug overdose, don't run. Call 911. The Mississippi Good Samaritan law protects you from an arrest. Those are the exact words printed on the sign. Now, supporters of the billboard say they want the public to know that they do not advocate for drug use, but for the possibility to save more lives.
If people know that they will not go to jail if they call the police or an ambulance, then I think a lot more people would be alive.
The signs located on Old Highway 11 in Oak Grove and Highway 49 in Hattiesburg states that under state law, you're protected if you witness an overdose. The man behind the sign is Hattiesburg business owner James Moore. Moore lost his son to a heroin overdose back in 2015.
People in the state continue to die because they're simply left alone whenever they go into an overdose situation.
Moore says he put up the billboard to raise awareness about the Mississippi Medical Emergency Good Samaritan law.
Even if they are under the influence themselves or if they have drugs on them, as long as it meets the standards of the statute, they will not be charged in any way.
15th Circuit Court District Attorney Hal Kittrell says he's in support of the billboards, and there needs to be more awareness about the law.
We're finding from law enforcement, finding out from even the hospitals that there are not a lot of situations where people are dumping people off or making the calls.
The law states that if you seek medical assistance for someone who is overdosing, you will not be penalized if you're in possession of 30 grams or less of marijuana, less than 4 grams of a solid substance, or less than 20 dosage units.
The legislature's ruled that at this point, with these lower dosage of these drugs, that saving a life is more important than prosecution of the case, and I certainly don't argue with that at all.
The billboard has created conflicting views on the law.
They can't do nothing to you at that moment. At that moment, no. But if they do have a drug raid or something like that, your name is already on the list.
You're innocent until proven guilty, and they can just be there. They may not even know someone's doing drugs. You know, bottom line facts are someone's overdosing because of what they chose to do, and hey, they're just a good Samaritan calling.
Moore says the goal is to save lives, and hopefully the sign will convey that message.
If you consider yourself a friend and you're using with a friend, and that friend goes into an overdose situation, call 911 and follow the instructions of the operator.